You're not untouchable because you're still playing by rules designed to keep you controllable. Right now, you're accessible, predictable, and manageable. People know how to reach you, how to influence you, how to get what they want from you. You think being available and responsive makes you valuable. It doesn't. It makes you common. The men who operate at the highest levels of power, the ones who walk into rooms and shift the energy, the ones who make decisions that move markets and destroy competitors, they're not accessible. They're not explaining themselves. They're not reactive. They've installed 8 specific disciplines that create an impenetrable force field around their time, their attention, their emotions, and their decisions. I'm about to give you those 8 Machiavellian disciplines. But understand this, when you implement these, you will lose people. Friends who were comfortable with the old, accessible you will disappear. Family members who relied on your reactivity will call you changed. Women who are attracted to your availability will lose interest or become more interested. Nothing in between. This is the cost of becoming untouchable. If you're willing to pay it, keep watching. If you need everyone to like you and approve of you, leave now, because what comes next will make you uncomfortable with how ruthless it actually is. Discipline 1 is the foundation everything else builds on. Establish absolute control over your attention through militant access management. This means nobody, and I mean nobody, gets your attention on demand. Your phone is not an access point for the world to interrupt you whenever they want. Your physical presence is not available just because someone asks. Your mental energy is not something people can claim just by creating urgency or emotional pressure. Starting today, you're going to restructure access to you in tiers. Tier 1 is your inner circle, maybe 3 to 5 people maximum who can reach you in genuine emergencies. Tier 2 is professional contacts and important relationships who get scheduled time, not immediate access. Tier 3 is everyone else who goes through filters, delays, and barriers before reaching you. Most people operate with completely open access. Anyone can call, text, show up, and demand their time. Then they wonder why they never accomplish anything significant, why they're always stressed, why they feel like they're living everyone else's life instead of their own. I implemented this 4 years ago, and it was brutal at first. People were offended. I got called selfish, distant, too busy for the little people. I let them be offended. Within 6 months, something shifted. The people who left were energy vampires who were benefiting from my accessibility. The people who stayed learned that my time was valuable, and they treated it accordingly. Now, when I give someone my attention, they know they've received something rare. This makes every interaction more meaningful and gives me leverage I never had when I was always available. Set up access tiers today. Turn off all notifications except Tier 1 contacts. Establish communication windows where you batch process messages instead of responding immediately. Watch how it transforms your life from reactive chaos to strategic control. Comment, "I control the gate," if you're ready to stop letting the world have unlimited access to your most valuable resource. Discipline 2 separates boys from men. Develop and maintain strategic emotional distance in all relationships. This doesn't mean you don't care about people. It means your emotional state is not dependent on any relationship. You have no emotional hostages. There's no person whose withdrawal of affection, approval, or presence would devastate you. This creates untouchability because manipulation requires leverage, and emotional dependency is the ultimate leverage. Right now, think about the relationships in your life. Is there someone whose opinion of you dictates your mood? Is there someone whose approval you're constantly seeking? Is there someone you couldn't imagine your life without? Those are your vulnerabilities. Those are the pressure points someone could use to control you. The Machiavellian loves people, but needs no one. He values relationships, but isn't hostage to them. This means building such a complete internal foundation that you're whole, whether you're alone or surrounded. I had to learn this the catastrophic way. 7 years ago, I was in a relationship where I'd made her approval central to my self-worth. When she was happy with me, I was up. When she was disappointed, I was down. She didn't even have to say anything. I was constantly monitoring her emotional state and adjusting my behavior to maintain her approval. That's not love. That's enslavement. When that relationship ended, it nearly destroyed me because I'd built my emotional foundation on external validation. Never again. Now I implement what I call relationship redundancy. I have deep friendships, intimate relationships, family connections, but no single relationship is load-bearing for my emotional structure. If any relationship ended tomorrow, I'd feel the loss, process it, and continue with my mission completely intact. This isn't cold, it's free, and ironically, this emotional independence makes you more attractive and more valued because people can sense you're with them by choice, not need. Start building strategic emotional distance today. Identify your emotional dependencies and systematically reduce them by building self-sufficiency in those areas. Discipline 3 is the most visible marker of untouchability. Master the art of strategic unavailability and manufactured scarcity. Your availability communicates your value. The person who's always free, always responsive, always accommodating, is communicating low value, whether they intend to or not. Scarcity creates value. This is basic economics applied to human attention. Starting today, even when you have time, you're going to create delay. Someone asks for a meeting, you're not available for 2 weeks. Someone texts, you respond hours or days later, not seconds later. Someone invites you to something, you'll check your schedule and get back to them, even if you already know you're free. This feels manipulative and fake to most people because they've been taught that genuine connection means immediate availability. That's romantic nonsense. What it actually means is you have nothing valuable happening in your life, so you're always accessible. I practice strategic unavailability religiously now. Even if I'm not slammed, even if my calendar has gaps, this does several things simultaneously. It communicates that my time is valuable and claimed by important things. It creates a delay that lets me assess whether this interaction serves my interests. It makes the other person work slightly harder for access, which increases their investment and perception of value. And it trains people that I'm not an on-demand resource. After 6 months of this, people started treating my time completely differently. Requests became more respectful. People prepared better for meetings because they knew they wouldn't get another chance soon. Casual time wasters just stopped reaching out because they learned I wasn't available for low-value interaction. Implement manufactured scarcity starting now. Add buffer time to everything. Delay responses. Be less available than you actually are. Watch how it changes every dynamic in your life. Discipline 4 builds the psychological fortress. Eliminate all reactive behavior through mandatory response windows. Reactivity is the opposite of untouchability. When someone can get an immediate reaction from you, whether that's anger, defense, justification, or compliance, they control you. You've handed them the remote control to your behavior. The untouchable man is unreactive because he's installed response windows that prevent immediate action. Something happens that would normally trigger you. You have a mandatory wait period before responding. Someone sends an aggressive message. You don't respond for 24 hours minimum. Someone challenges you publicly. You acknowledge it and address it later, on your timeline. Someone tries to create urgency. You slow everything down deliberately. I implement strict response windows now. For emotional communications, minimum 12 hours before I respond. For business decisions, minimum 48 hours. For any major life choice, minimum 1 week. During these windows, several things happen. The emotional charge dissipates so I can see the situation clearly. Manipulations become obvious because urgency is almost always manufactured. Better options become visible that weren't apparent in the reactive moment. And the other person learns that attempts to control me through provocation don't work. This single discipline has saved me from more disasters than I can count. Every terrible decision I've made in my life happened in reactive mode, when I felt pressured to respond immediately. Every good decision happened after strategic delay. Your response windows are your defense against the world trying to make you react on their timeline. Install them today. Something triggers you. Clock starts. Nothing you do or say until the window expires. The first week will be hard because you'll feel the pull to react. Resist it. By week 3, it becomes automatic, and you'll realize you're essentially immune to manipulation through urgency or emotional provocation. Discipline 5 creates the impenetrable decision-making framework, develops singular outcome obsession that overrides all social pressure. Most men are untouchable on good days when they feel confident and everything's going well. But the moment they face social pressure, criticism, or the disapproval of people they care about, they fold, they compromise, they adjust their path to maintain approval. This makes you completely touchable because anyone can influence you by threatening withdrawal of acceptance. The Machiavellian has identified the 1 or 2 outcomes that matter more than anything else, and he's psychologically committed to pursuing those outcomes regardless of social cost. This means when you face the choice between your outcome and someone's approval, you choose the outcome every single time without hesitation. For me, my singular outcome is building genuine sovereignty, financial, geographic, temporal, and psychological. Every decision gets filtered through this. Does this move me toward sovereignty or away from it? If it moves me toward it, but costs me a friendship, the friendship goes. If it moves me toward it, but disappoints my family's expectations, their disappointment is accepted. If it moves me toward it, but makes me unpopular, popularity is irrelevant. This sounds harsh until you realize the alternative is spending your entire life trying to make everyone comfortable with your choices, which means never making choices that are truly yours. I watched my father live this way. Every decision filtered through what other people would think, what would keep peace, what would maintain approval. He's 70 now, and full of regret about the life he didn't live because he was too busy living the life others approved of. I decided that would not be me. Identify your singular outcome right now. What matters more than approval, more than comfort, more than fitting in? Write it down. From now on, every decision gets evaluated against that outcome only. Social pressure becomes irrelevant noise. This makes you untouchable because there's no social lever anyone can pull that overrides your commitment to your outcome. Discipline 6 is the dark psychology masterclass. Cultivate strategic opacity so people never fully understand your motives or capabilities. The person who's an open book is easily managed because everyone knows what pages to read to predict behavior and engineer responses. Untouchability requires that you remain somewhat mysterious. somewhat unpredictable, somewhat more capable than people realize. This means you never reveal your full hand. In business negotiations, you never show your complete budget or timeline. In social dynamics, you never explain all your reasoning. In conflicts, you never display your full capability. You always hold back more than you show. I practice this through what I call the 70% rule. In any situation, I operate at about 70% of my actual capability. This serves multiple purposes. It means people consistently underestimate what I'm capable of, which gives me advantage when it matters. It means I always have reserve capacity, so I never appear to be struggling or at my limit. And it means when I do need to go to 100%, the gap between what people expected and what they see is psychologically devastating to competitors. I was in a business competition last year where everyone assumed I was operating at full capacity based on what they could see. In the final push, I deployed resources and capabilities they didn't know I had. The psychological impact of that revelation was more valuable than the actual resources because it made them question everything they thought they knew about my position. Strategic opacity also applies to your motives. Never fully explain why you're doing something. Let people speculate. Let them project their own motives onto you. This keeps them uncertain, and people treat uncertainty with more respect than they treat predictability. Start practicing opacity today. In your next negotiation, hold back information you'd normally share. In your next explanation, stop at 80% and let people wonder about the rest. Watch how it changes the respect and caution people treat you with. Discipline 7 addresses the vulnerability most men ignore. Build absolute financial untouchability through fuck you money and zero lifestyle inflation. You can master every other discipline, but if you're financially dependent on any job, any person, any single income source, you're not untouchable. You're one economic pressure away from compliance. Financial untouchability means you have enough money saved and invested that you could walk away from your current income source and survive for minimum 2 years, ideally 5. This isn't wealth for luxury. This is wealth for freedom. The number is different for everyone based on your overhead, but the principle is the same. You need enough that "do this or you're fired" holds no power over you. I made this my absolute priority 6 years ago. I lived on 40% of my income and invested the rest aggressively. Kept my lifestyle frozen even as income grew. Lived in the same small apartment while colleagues upgraded to houses. Drove the same old car while they bought new ones. They thought I was either broke or weird. I didn't care. I was building freedom while they were building expensive prisons. 3 years in, I hit my fuck you money number. The day I crossed that threshold, everything changed psychologically. Suddenly, every job was optional. Every client was optional. Every compromise was optional. I could say no to anything that didn't serve my interests because the financial gun to my head was gone. This transformed my negotiating power completely because I was genuinely willing to walk away from anything. And when you're genuinely willing to walk away, you usually don't have to because people can sense you're negotiating from strength, not desperation. Calculate your fuck you money number today, whatever it costs you to live for 2 years without income. Then make accumulating that your absolute priority. Cut every expense that doesn't serve essential function. Stop spending to signal status. Redirect everything toward building the war chest that buys your untouchability. Nothing else you do matters if you're still financially dependent. Discipline 8 completes the transformation and makes everything else sustainable. Develop and protect ruthless physical sovereignty through non-negotiable health discipline. Every other discipline I've given you requires energy, requires mental clarity, requires stress resilience. If your body is weak, inflamed, and exhausted, none of this works. You'll have strategic plans that you're too tired to execute. You'll have emotional control until your blood sugar crashes and you become reactive. You'll have response windows until you're so depleted, you just snap. Physical sovereignty means your body is a reliable high-performance machine, not a liability you're constantly managing. This requires non-negotiable disciplines. You train consistently regardless of how you feel. You eat for function, not comfort or entertainment. You sleep on a schedule that serves performance. You eliminate substances and behaviors that degrade your system. I implemented this 3 years ago after realizing my discipline in other areas was inconsistent because my physical foundation was unstable. Some days I'd wake up energized and execute perfectly. Other days I'd wake up inflamed and foggy and struggle with everything. The inconsistency was because I treated my body like it didn't matter, like I could eat whatever, sleep randomly, skip training when I didn't feel like it. Now I treat physical discipline as the foundation of everything else. I train 6 days a week, same time, regardless of motivation or circumstances. I eat the same high-performance meals on a schedule. I sleep 8 hours minimum on a consistent schedule. The result? Consistent energy, consistent mental clarity, consistent emotional stability. This makes every other discipline exponentially easier because I'm not fighting against a body that's working against me. Your physical state is either your greatest asset or your greatest liability. Most men treat it as an afterthought and wonder why their discipline fails under pressure. Install non-negotiable physical disciplines today. Decide what training schedule, nutrition approach, and sleep pattern serves high performance. Then execute it without exception for 90 days. Watch how it transforms everything else. These 8 disciplines aren't just techniques you apply. They're a complete restructuring of how you operate in the world. You control access to your attention so you're no longer interrupted and depleted. You maintain strategic emotional distance so you're no longer manipulated through relationships. You manufacture scarcity so you're no longer taken for granted. You eliminate reactivity so you're no longer controlled through provocation. You commit to singular outcomes so social pressure becomes irrelevant. You cultivate opacity so you're never fully understood or predicted. You build financial freedom so economic pressure loses its leverage. And you develop physical sovereignty so your body supports your discipline instead of sabotaging it. When all 8 are integrated, you become functionally untouchable, not because you're isolated or disconnected, but because you've sealed every access point that people normally use to control, influence, or manipulate. You're still in the world, still in relationships, still doing business, still engaged. But you're doing it from a position of such complete sovereignty that normal manipulation tactics just bounce off you. People will feel this immediately, even if they can't articulate what changed. You'll walk into rooms and the energy will shift. You'll be in conversations where people are more careful, more respectful, more uncertain about trying their normal influence tactics. You'll face situations that used to control you through urgency or emotion, and you'll just remain unmoved, handling it on your timeline with your chosen response. But here's what nobody tells you about becoming untouchable. It's lonely at first. The people who are comfortable with the old, accessible, reactive, people-pleasing version of you will leave. They'll call you cold, changed, arrogant, too good for them now. Let them leave. They were never adding value. They were extracting it. and they're upset the extraction point closed. What replaces them is something better. You'll attract people who respect boundaries because they have boundaries. You'll build relationships based on mutual value instead of your availability. You'll create opportunities that only appear to people operating at this level because they require the discipline to see and the sovereignty to execute. The loneliness is temporary. The weakness of being accessible and controllable is permanent, unless you change it. Most men watching this won't implement any of it. They'll feel inspired for the length of this video. Maybe nod along, maybe save it to watch later, then go back to being available to everyone, reactive to everything, and controlled by circumstances. They'll keep wondering why, despite working hard and being a good person, they never break through to the level where they actually have power. If you're going to be different, it starts today with one discipline. Not all 8, just one. Pick the one that addresses your greatest vulnerability right now. If people drain your energy through unlimited access, implement access management. If you're emotionally dependent on relationships, build strategic distance. If you're reactive, install response windows. Master that one discipline for 30 days until it's automatic, then add the next. In 8 months, you'll have all 8 integrated, and you will be unrecognizable from who you are today. People from your old life won't understand you. That's the whole point. If you made it to the end of this video, you're different from 99% of men who are still trying to be liked instead of trying to be powerful. Subscribe to this channel because I only create content for men who are willing to sacrifice approval for sovereignty, comfort for discipline, and accessibility for untouchability. Everything I make is designed to give you the dark psychology and Machiavellian frameworks that actually create power while everyone else is consuming content that keeps them comfortable and controllable. Hit that subscribe button right now if you're serious about this transformation. Final challenge, and I want you to comment your answer. Which of these 8 disciplines is your greatest weakness right now? Where are you most touchable? Is it access management, emotional dependency, availability, reactivity, outcome commitment, opacity, financial dependence, or physical discipline? Comment just one word. That's your starting point. That's the discipline you implement first. And if you're ready to go deeper, the next video breaks down exactly how to identify who in your life is actively trying to keep you touchable and what to do about them. The choice is yours. Stay accessible and controllable or become untouchable and sovereign. Choose now.